So report cards are coming home, and I think one of the things that parents oftentimes ask us is like, what does this really mean? Like when I see a 1 or a 4 on the report card, what is that really telling me? And we know that there's a key on the bottom of the report card that might help clarify. But when we look at a level 1, which is below where we would expect a child at this grade level to be, that's saying to us that in November of the school year, your child is below where we would expect them to be for, say, a first grader, if that's the grade level that they're in. If a child is getting a 2, if your child is getting a 2 on their report card, that would mean that the child is developing. So it's pretty normal for a child to be around a 2 at this time of the school year because we're in the beginning part of the school year. A child that's getting a level 3 is really kind of competent in the area that they're progressing, just like we would think a 3rd grader would be progressing at 3rd grade in November at this point in the school year. And a level 4, which is very hard to get and very rare that we see something like this, but a 4 would be exemplary, that your child is well beyond where we would expect them to be at this point in the school year.
So this report card captures how a student is doing in different areas and also has comments listed for what the teacher's saying, to give a little bit more detail to the score, the level that's been indicated on the report card. A teacher will also place comments in here so parents have an understanding of how their child is presenting in the classroom. So for things like they should be practicing sight words with flashcards every night, it's a recommendation that the teacher has to the parent to help them know what are some things that this child or their child could work on. And also they might make recommendations like that they should seek extra help when needed. And so raising the hand and asking the teacher, hey, can you help me with what I'm working on? Or I'm struggling and I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. Can you help me? So at the bottom of the report card, you'll see a black band here, and that'll indicate the attendance for first quarter. And so we would typically have about 40 days in the first quarter, and this will tell a parent how many days their child was absent or tardy this year. And so you can see for this child, they were absent 2.5 days this year, and they were tardy 1 day. And then you can see that across the course of the year will indicate each marking period how they're doing with absenteeism and tardies. And one of the things that we pay close attention to is how many times a child was absent from school, because certainly we know that if a child is approaching 10% absence, which at this point would be 4 or more days for first quarter, we start to worry that they're falling further and further behind their grade level peers.
So we think it's really important for parents to pay attention to their child's report card because oftentimes it's one way that we have as a communication tool with a parent to let them know how their child is progressing as compared to other first graders or other 5th graders at this time in the school year. And it does allow a parent to say, hey, I think my son or daughter is doing really, really well. Or I think that there might be some things that my child needs to work on, which is why we partner the report card with a parent-teacher conference so that a parent can come in and has an opportunity, if they've not already been having great conversations with the classroom teacher, they have a chance to come in and ask, can you help me understand what this might mean, or what might I be able to do at home, or what's happening during the school day to help my child to be more successful, or are there things I can do to enrich their experience at home? Certainly, we always recommend reading books at home. A child can never read too many books. That's always a great way to kind of keep up with your skills, especially as related to, reading and writing and phonics skills. Any kind of math flashcard practice, we would always recommend. And paying attention to your child's attendance. It's really critical that your child is here every single day of the school year. It's so important that we're back now in person and we're catching up for the last 1.5 years that we have not been in exactly the greatest space with COVID. And so we're really excited for this opportunity to have parents come in, have a conversation about how their child or their son or daughter is doing in school, and then ultimately form that partnership that we're so excited to have, where that we are working together with you as mom and dad to really make sure that your child is the most successful that they can be.